Hey everybody, this is Heather Dewar-Carden here. I did announce that I was doing a Facebook, and this will be the first or last one, I guess I should say the last one of 2016. Just really kind of reflecting what's happened over the last year and just getting a lot of kind of random questions. So I'm going to take a few minutes here while people join us and hopefully help answer some of your questions where you've created some confusion. I'm a couple minutes late getting on because of the lighting situation. I misjudged what time the sun was going down, and so I'm a couple minutes late here just trying to find the proper lighting in my house. So this may not be the best lighting situation, but hopefully it will help answer some of your questions. So again, just want to welcome anybody who's on here, and thank you for joining me and here to kind of answer your questions. So it'll be a little bit different form than what I usually do. Sorry, trying to get a little more light here in my comfy couch in my home. But really just what I wanted to say is just start. Some people actually get paralyzed, or call it paralysis by analysis. They don't know which diet to start, what exercise to start, which gym to join, which gym not to join, which apple to buy. Just really keep it super simple. And really where my passion comes from is I knew as a little girl I wanted to be a physician. I always knew I wanted to help people. So it was a simple decision for me to make when I was younger and going to school that I really wanted to be a physician. So where my practice really started from was really just helping others. I watched some people in my family suffer from health conditions back in the 70s and 80s, like cancer and heart disease, and knew that I really wanted to dive in a little bit deeper and see what's happening. And as I went through college and found and doing the cadaver lab and finding that more and more people were suffering from the disease of civilization like cancer and heart disease, really had to figure out what's happening and why is this issue just keep coming more and more. And as I saw patients in our clinic just really getting confused, because back in the days when we opened up their yellow page ad, they're more Marcus Welby type of physicians, and now everything's so specialized and everything's broken into parts, and people can't find the help they want, or they're diagnosing themselves online, or confused by all the media, by the commercials, by the TV, the magazines, all that kind of stuff. Like, really, where do I start? And I always tell people, start where you feel your heart is. Everyone's on a little bit different journey. Our health decisions and journeys are as individualized as our bodies are. So everyone has different health goals, but find what's most important to you and start with that. So I always tell people, what is your number? Ask them, what is your number one health goal? What is your number two and number three? Don't start with 10 health goals. Just start with one or two or three so you kind of know where you want to go, and then kind of really narrow down the avenue of which way to start. So if yours happens to be with food and you just say, I just can't figure it out, there's so many different diets, I've bought in every book out there, every time I pick up a magazine there's a different article about what to eat, what not to eat this, don't eat that. Well, I can tell you over practicing almost 20 years that they're all saying the same thing. They're all saying don't eat processed food and don't eat sugar. Cut back on the sugary drinks. They're all saying the same thing. We could go through Atkins and South Beach and targeted diet this and modified this and paleo that, but they're all saying the same thing. Don't eat processed food. Eat real food where your body can nourish and really thrive from that. The next question I get is, what about supplementation? Why is there so much information about supplementation? We see supplements popping up all over the market. Well, as we know, we used to have about 18 inches of topsoil, and now we really only have a couple inches of topsoil. And what that means is where we get our nutrients is we get them from the earth. So if we're eating a rooted beet or a carrot or something that's in the ground, all those nice macronutrients and minerals, we get those from the foods that we eat. If we don't have the topsoil, then we know that we're going to be depleted actually in the nutrients that we eat. And don't quote me, but what I heard a couple years ago is that it takes 65 cups of spinach today to equal the amount of spinach we would have gotten in the 1940s. What that means is we're just not getting the nutrients from the foods that we're eating, or after we cook them, if we're not cooking them too high, or now we're microwaving food, which is actually ruining food content, or we're storing things in plastic packages, which can actually also kind of ruin storage of food. We're using pesticides. There's so many ways to point that, but I always just say start with real foods first. Start with, again, it's great to eat organic, but just start with whole foods, nothing in a box, nothing in a package, and keep it really simple and keep the sugar out of your diet. But health is a verb. What that means is you can choose to act on your health, or you can choose to not act on your health. You can either choose healthy foods, or you can choose unhealthy foods. You can choose to drink water, or you can choose to drink a sugary drink. All that is totally up to you. And what's really happening now is everyone's talking about resolutions. I hear that resolution's a bad word, or goals are bad words, or, you know, people have mixed emotions on what those words mean. Just keep it really simple. If you go to the dictionary, resolution just means an action of solving a dispute. So if you're in a dispute about your weight, or in a dispute about too much sugary food or processed breads, just solve that problem. Keep them out of your diet. So I think resolutions are great things to have, or you want to call it a map. So maybe make a map up of where you're going in the next 12 months with your health. Again, inch by inch is a cinch, yard by yard is super hard. So make little small changes that you know that you can attain. And if you can't attain it, then just try it again for the next month. Maybe week 1 is cutting out the sugary foods and you didn't get that made for 7 days, and just try it the next week. Every beginner is a winner. So what that means is if you're on a diet or you're trying to cut out sugary processed foods and you fall off the wagon, get right back on the wagon. Don't say, because I'm already off, I'm going to stay in the ground and just drag in the trenches. Get back on there and take that action again of helping yourself be healthier. Surround yourself with a community of friends that love eating healthy. There's so many great groups now. There's meetup groups, there's groups online, gyms, yoga studios, salons are all creating these great environments where you can connect with people that are like-minded and want to be on a health journey like yourself. So when we talk about health, again, it's a verb you can choose to act on, or you can choose to negatively act on it. I always say try to at least 80% act on what it is, but do make yourself a map. Make yourself a goal or resolution list that you know you want to meet, and make it attainable. Have daily goals, have weekly goals, and then have an annual goal. So what that might look like is a daily goal might be, I'm going to meditate every day and I'm going to exercise every day and not eat sugary things. Maybe in a month's time, you might say, I want to be able to run 2 miles, or I want to do 50 push-ups, or I want to lose 10 pounds. Make it a goal that's attainable for you, and then make a little bit of information of maybe what the obstacles might be. It could be a holiday, it could be a physical injury, it could be maybe too much travel with your work. So identify what those obstacles are and find a way to work around them. Again, there's so much social media these days that can help you move along that goal. So that's the second thing that we've covered. And I'm going to finish up with food a little bit, is that when we talk about foods, be a skeptical, do your own research. I know you've been hearing me talk a lot about ketones and a lot about fat. We know that, and a lot about glucose. We've been talking no sugar for decades now. You've seen lots of great movies posted about no sugar, a lot of books, and again, all the top diet programs are saying reduce the sugar. So they're all saying the same thing, but do what works for you. Inch by inch is a cinch, yard by yard is hard. So don't try to make it so difficult that you're not going to attain your goal or reach that map or destination that you're trying to get to, but make it so you have some success in that, but make it so it's a little bit difficult too, because that's where you're going to find the most happiness, is when you actually get past those goals or hurdles that you've been looking for. Again, don't beat yourself up if you fall off. Every beginner is a winner. So if you have to try 100 times to start a healthy lifestyle, try 100 times. Think about when you were teaching your kid to tie your shoe. You just keep teaching them and teaching them until they make that happen. So do the same for yourself if you're starting a healthy diet. Maybe it's you've got to cut out bread. Maybe you've got to stop driving through. Maybe you've got to stop putting sugar in your coffee or drinking sugary drinks. Make that goal for you that's attainable. Everyone is individualized. Everyone's health goals are going to be individualized, but surround yourself by positive people that want to help you. So I want to come to you again weekly with a little bit of inspiration here, because I had a question earlier in the week. What do you want to hear from me? Do you want more recipes? Do you want more information? Want more clinical articles? And someone said, we really want more things about motivation. So again, when you start to eat something, I want you to say the word HALT. So what does HALT stand for? When you're eating something, ask yourself, are you hungry? Are you angry? Are you lonely? Or are you tired? So ask that before you grab that food that takes 20 seconds to eat, and then you're mad the next day that you ate it, or mad an hour that you're late. So if you're hungry, the first thing would be drink water. The first sign of dehydration is actually hunger, and we know that about 79% of Americans are dehydrated. So if you're hungry, drink some water. If you're still hungry, eat. And like I say, always pick fat first. It's far more dense in calories, a lot more nutrient dense. It's a better energy fuel source. If you're eating because you're angry or anxious, then find a tool that works for you. Maybe it's some meditation, maybe it's some soft music, maybe it's reading a book, maybe it's going for a walk or doing some yoga. Find whatever works for you to help replace that anxiety or the anger that you're feeling. If you're eating because you're lonely, then find a group that works for you. If you love to go dancing, go to a dance studio. If you like to walk, find a walking group. If you love to read, sign up for a book group. Find something that fills that void that you're missing while you're eating. If you're tired, that means you're picking the wrong food choices. So you can Google food and tired or food and fatigue, and you're going to find that when you're eating processed sugars or too much processed sugars, too many sugary drinks, breads and things like that, you're actually going to be a lot more tired. If you're using fats for fuel, you're going to find your energy source really come up. So HALT means, are you eating because you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? So before you put it in your mouth, and the only person that can feed you is your 10 digits or your 2 hands, before you put it in, ask yourself why you're eating that. If you're eating because you're hungry, then please eat, and eat fat first. I'm just going to close with a couple of things. Again, I'm going to come to you once a week here based on kind of what the questions are that I'm getting, and help you really be successful over the next 52 weeks of the upcoming year of 2017. My mission has always been to help people. I want to help people help other people. So if you want to share this with other people and you might find there's some value in this, please share it with your friends or family. If there's certain questions, please tag it below, so next week when I come to you, I can actually help answer those. I am going to pop back on Sunday and go over the top 10 resolutions that I have been hearing from other people. Again, they vary for every single person, but it's a great way to do that. And hey, Pam, thanks for joining me. Pam has been one of those people in my life that has met every single goal. She has helped me build that community of people who want to help and cook better. She has inspired me every day to be better and to continue to inspire not only my friends, but her friends and her family. It's those things when we talk about building a community, making goals, making resolutions. Resolution really is just to reduce the conflict and to find something in a harmonious environment. And Pam has been one of the several people in my life who've helped me find harmony in the environment that I'm living in. So I want to thank her and many of my other friends from the bottom of my heart. So I hope you found some value today. Please again share this with someone. Sorry about the lighting. I misjudged what time the sun was going down. So Sunday I'm going to come to you with about the top 10 resolutions, again, that help you make yourself better over 2017. Remember, inch by inch is a cinch, yard by yard is hard. Hey, Nicole, how are you? Thank you for joining me, and thank you for liking stuff on my page. If you have any questions out there, please feel free to shout them out. Thanks for the thumbs and hearts. Again, apologize for the lighting here, and my cat is pushing me over, but I wanted to come to you from my comfy couch. A real person helping real people, not as a doctor, but someone who studied health and nutrition for almost 30 years, knowing where people have problems. I see patients on a regular basis over the last 20 years. I've heard, I don't want to call them excuses, but reasons why people aren't successful. But I'm going to join the modern age and come to you on Facebook or social media to really help you fight those or find those problems that you're needing with. And again, always find an accountability partner and a community that will help you. So thank you guys for joining me today. I'm excited to hear what your resolutions are going to be. Again, I know everyone has a different word for resolution or map or goal. I do like using the word map because a map tells you where you're going and how you're going to get there, where the stops are going to be, which could be holidays or birthdays or things like that coming up. So kind of log out what your next 52 weeks look like. Don't wait until June to try to figure out what your health problem is. Every single day your body's making healthy blood cells. Every single day your body's making different changes biochemically. So every single day you can choose to act on the verb health. You can choose to make healthy choices for your body, or you can choose to make unhealthy ones. So if you had unhealthy choices yesterday and didn't act positively, forgive yourself, get over that, learn from the mistake, learn what that feeling feels like, and say, I don't want to feel that way anymore. I don't want to eat the cake and feel guilty for it. But conversely, know that it's okay to have indulgences. Plan those. I teach my patients there's 12 major holidays. There's birthdays and Christmas or anniversaries. On those days, really plan that. Say, you know what? I'm going to enjoy my child's birthday. I'm going to celebrate him or her, and I'm going to have a piece of cake, but I'm not going to have 10 pieces of cake. So again, halt before you eat something, which means identify if you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. And again, just get started. Every day is a great day that you can have a chance to make a difference. So thank you for being here and joining me. Thank you for all the support you've given me over the last year. And I look forward to coming to you weekly with some healthy tips. So have a wonderful day and a happy end of 2016. I'm really looking forward to 2017.